Welcome to Main Street Minds with your host, Amish Munshi. This is where industry leaders and seasoned pros share their secrets to success beyond limits. Let's dive in.
Hi, Shishir. Welcome to Main Street Minds. Today we have Shishir who is joining us on an exclusive interview. He wants to share his life journey from a career perspective and willing to share the success. He has been working with multiple companies across Bay Area and in India, and it's a privilege to have you on our show. Thanks.
Absolutely. I'm very happy to be here, Amish.
Hey, thanks. So without any delay, let me just open up the floor. Can you explain like how you got started and what are you doing now?
Sure. So I graduated out of University of Mumbai in electronics engineering with specialization in software engineering. Um, so right out of the gate, I started working for Mofathlal Consultancy, and it was a very interesting project. At the time, it was quite innovative. We were actually helping out financial markets, currency traders to buy and sell currency.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very awesome because we actually at that time it used to be this was way back. It used to be teleprompter telex machines,
Oh,
which would actually print out stuff. So they would communicate with each other via telex. So the
yeah.
time it took for them to type, we actually converted. We added a telex interface to a computer, and
Mm-hmm.
we provided a single key response to
Mm-hmm.
the traders. And that actually, when we went live, um, within the first 2 hours, they told us that it had paid for itself already because the advantage that you get in that millisecond,
Yeah.
not typing the entire phrase, etc., they had an advantage. So it was awesome. That was a very great experience. And then subsequently, I came to Boston, worked
Mm-hmm.
at Wang Labs on
Okay.
the internationalization project for
Mm-hmm.
Banyan wines.
Mm-hmm.
Then went back to India, worked in Mumbai for a few years, and then in '93 came to California in the Bay Area, and
Okay.
I've been here ever since.
So you've seen the entire Bay Area come up. Like I don't think there
Oh
was
yes,
prior. There was some companies prior to that, some large big companies, but like the actual big boom and the entire industry.
yes.
I think the whole metropolitan area has been transformed.
Absolutely. Whenever we walk around or drive around, we notice all these changes that have happened because we have not really moved too far away from where we came in '93.
Hmm.
So, we lived in Cupertino at the time, and so we are in Santa Clara. Then, so it's very nice to see the changes. Also, sometimes you feel kind of nostalgic.
Oh yeah,
Oh, it used to be, this used to be an orchard. Now there's a building and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah. Lots has changed, but still, I think the character of I would say the entire Santa Clara County has retained a little bit.
Yes,
I would say at least 10-15% has been retained. 80
yes,
85% has vanished, but
change.
still,
Yes,
I
absolutely.
think what I go back and I look at is like the culture, right? Like the thought process of focusing on innovation. Let's do something meaningful. Let's do something useful. If it takes more resources, if it takes more time, that's okay. But
Yep.
let's do something useful. That
Yes,
culture is very unique to Bay Area.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. So, how is life with Oracle and like what made you transition over to AI?
Yeah, sure. So actually, when '93 I came, it was a project management type of a company. And then I moved to another company called Selectica, which was an AI-based company in '96.
Oh wow.
This was led by the CTO was Sanjay Mittal, Dr. Sanjay Mittal out of Xerox PARC,
Yeah.
Palo Alto Research Center. And we had a configurator business. And I would say, employee number one, other than three founders. So we were four of us.
Okay.
And I was there for about 5 years. And in 2001, we went IPO with a, over $1 billion valuation.
Oh
So it
nice.
was it was an awesome journey to grow from somebody who joined as a software engineer, slowly became senior software engineer, dev manager, director, and then senior director. So
Yeah.
it was a great thing to see the company grow.
Mm-hmm.
Some challenges that we faced in the early part of the growth, and
Mm-hmm.
then how those challenges transition to different challenges where execution mattered a lot more than the technology. And so that was a awesome journey. After that, I went to another startup called Unimobile, which was later acquired by Electronics for Imaging, uh,
Mm-hmm.
as a business unit, which was then later acquired by VeriSign.
Mm-hmm.
And VeriSign wanted to actually set up their offshore development center in Bangalore. So
Okay.
I moved with my family back to Bangalore in
Oh, wow.
2004, set
Yeah.
up the offshore development center, grew from about 8 to around 350 people.
Wow.
And then 2006, we came back. So
Mm-hmm.
we came back, and I was working for a company in San Francisco, which was later acquired. Um, and then I joined a smaller company out of Boston.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to set up an offshore subsidiary in Pune.
Mm-hmm.
So I joined them in 2009 and was there, kind of went back and forth between Boston, San Jose, where I was living in Cupertino, and Pune, and
Yeah.
it was so much traveling.
Yeah.
We set it up. It went from scratch. Our timeline was 18 months, but we were able to set it up in 15 months.
Okay.
We grew from 0 to 65 plus people, including everything: HR, administration,
Mm-hmm.
outsourced finance. That was another awesome experience. And then the traveling became too much because I was making trips to India 6 to 8 times a year,
Yeah.
plus going to Boston all the time. So it became too hectic. So
Yeah.
then I said, I need something local. That's
Yeah.
when I joined Oracle.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
throughout my career, I was there until 2023, 10 years. And
Yeah.
then I joined Score Data into 2014, January. Um,
Yeah.
so it's been a great journey. So I've been involved with AI from the very early days. At that time, it was all rule based. Now
Yeah.
there's a lot more going on. So it's been a very interesting journey to see how AI has kind of moved from the early days to now, where a whole lot of stuff is being done by so many companies, etc. Right
Yeah.
now, we are doing so much at Score Data. We are
Yeah.
helping out. In fact, we were also in last year's election. We were actually helping the Democratic Party for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had built out an application for the constituents of
Mm-hmm.
congressmen, uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we were about to start working with the Harris campaign when, by the time we were actually all done, it was too close, so they were not able to go live. But
Not
otherwise, we had all the
need enough
infrastructure.
time for the
Yes,
campaign to do anything. Right?
yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So, what are some of the solutions that you provide right now at ScoData?
So at Score Data, a lot of it is under wraps, if you will.
Oh.
But one of the key things that we are currently working with is the ability to leverage AI
Mm-hmm.
to help venture capitalists
Mm-hmm.
make informed decisions,
Mm-hmm.
be able to invest in a company, yes
Mm-hmm.
or no, do all the due diligence. And today, all of that is done manually.
Yeah.
But it's very hard. It's very time consuming. So with we are leveraging the power of AI to kind
Mm-hmm.
of go look for stuff out on the web, collate it,
Mm-hmm.
analyze it, and then provide some sort of a scoring system so
Okay.
that they can make an informed decision.
For a business valuation?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So, and is it always that companies like end up merging, like getting a full merger, or does it also involve like example is like I think AT&T and Time Warner, like there could be like a partial split of the businesses. Like that's probably
Yeah, I mean that happens. That happens once in a while when there is antitrust issues and so on and so forth.
yeah.
But usually these days, IPOs are rare. People end up getting acquired, so smaller companies get acquired and or bought out, or there's various reasons why people get bought out.
Mhm.
Sometimes it is just the technology. Sometimes it's the customers. Sometimes different things.
Yeah, yeah, makes sense. So yeah, that is amazing. It's a big I do manage a fund myself, so I understand like I do a real estate fund management, but I do understand what is involved in the amount of work and the secret is going to be having a lot of reach to a lot
Yes.
of businesses and then extremely good analysis and with
Yes,
so
absolutely.
that is the key to doing this business right.
Yeah, in the early days of score data, we also had another. This was kind of ahead of the market at the time. I think score data was established in 2014,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the time when we came up with a mechanism to detect drift in
Mm-hmm.
LLM models. So what drift is when you are asking a question, prompting the AI to come back with something. So
Mm-hmm.
there are two problems. One, it starts giving you nonsense, which is hallucinating,
Mm-hmm.
or it starts giving you slightly different results, which is drifting.
Mm-hmm.
So our product could detect drifts and hallucinations in large language models, and so
Mm-hmm.
people. But now there's a lot of corrective action that the companies themselves have taken to
Yeah.
prevent that. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Cool. So I know AI is doing, there is just so many things that AI is doing, but within the next 5 to 10 years, like what do you see in the industry? Like, is it mostly AI or do you see any other trends as well?
I think okay. So one thing we have to be very clear is AI is not really. I mean, there are certain areas where AI is actually replacing humans,
Mm-hmm.
but what we have to realize is AI is here to stay.
Mm-hmm.
It is a groundbreaking technology. It is
Mm-hmm.
helping a lot more than it is disrupting the
Mm-hmm.
way people have been thinking about different things. Customer service, for example, right? So you have chatbot agents that can answer questions, basic questions. So the customer support
Mm-hmm.
agents' jobs are in jeopardy.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, at the same time, though, I think newcomers have to realize that AI is here to stay. So the more you can actually leverage AI for your own benefit and
Mm-hmm.
for the benefit of the company that you will end up with,
Mm-hmm.
that is going to be your kind of feather in your cap, right? So you cannot be afraid of AI. I was talking to some fresh person the other day, and he had never even worked or never even opened ChatGPT, and that is not
Yeah,
something
it's
that,
like, oh,
yeah,
everyone has used it by now.
exactly. So you cannot be so far away, and the amount of stuff that you learn
Yeah.
just by chatting is amazing because it has access. It has been trained on all the data that is out there, right? So you really have to leverage it.
Sure. So, in terms of a skill set, if somebody wants to enter the AI world, like what exactly should they be learning?
So there's two aspects of AI. One is leveraging AI to improve your work or
Mm-hmm.
whatever project that you might be working on, or the other stream is pretty much like the in the traditional sense of it's a management track or a technical track, right? So this is you leverage AI to help do your work better, faster,
Mm-hmm.
or you actually help build the AI itself. So machine learning and in all those technologies that kind of help become help AI become what it is, right? So all tuning and training the model, or
Mm-hmm.
essentially machine learning, or
Yeah.
so there's lots of different things that are coming up now as branches. There's a branch called prompt engineering, right? For
Mm-hmm.
that matter. So you need to be able to ask the right questions off the AI so that you
Yeah.
will get the right answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's lots of scope for newcomers to kind of get into AI and learn more about it. But primarily, I would say these two are the main
Sure.
branches, and then there are sub branches. So
Oh
many.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And so within the core AI, like you did mention machine learning, right? Is that the core of like what somebody should be focusing on, or like is it more? Is there like other jobs as well, like other than like very technical jobs, but within the core AI?
Yeah, so there is for example, just like prompt engineering is a new kind of job.
Mm-hmm,
There is also, something called as red teaming, for
mm-hmm,
example. So it's where it's like an ethical hacking type of a thing where you're trying to break the AI. So
mm-hmm,
it is a very technical job. So you need to know how, what prompts do you give so that you can try to bias the
yeah,
LLM into certain area. Can you slowly bias it and stuff
mm-hmm,
like that? So I think these are all this becomes the testing area of the LLM. But there are so many such technical areas in the AI itself, in that
mm-hmm,
domain. It has become a very vast domain. There are
mm-hmm,
so many niche areas that you can actually do. Um, Even prompt engineering itself, you can actually get into prompt engineering for
mm-hmm,
the purpose of drift, or
mm-hmm,
prompt engineering for the purpose of bias, or
mm-hmm,
prompt engineering for the purpose of, you know, um, kind of forcing the LLM in a certain way of thinking. So there's lots of sub branches that have come up now because of the advancement, and every single day there are new things that are coming in, right? So you have to be really on top of things.
Makes sense. Yeah, yeah. So, apart from work, like what else do you like to do?
Oh, so we have a dog, so we like to go on hikes wherever dogs are allowed. So we regularly go to lots of hikes. Our kids are grown up and out of the house, so it's just myself and my wife now and
Okay.
the dog. So we go for hikes. My wife works at Stanford Hospital, so on the weekends basically are very very busy. So we try to go here and there and stuff. Last
Yeah.
year I love traveling. So last year we had gone to Tanzania on a safari. So
Oh,
that was awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and,
Um,
and we like to go hikes. I like music. I play keyboard a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. So I'm glad you've replaced the stressful work travel with less frequent fun travel.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I know the Tanzania was might have been like really cool. Is
It
that
was.
your most favorite place, like among everywhere you've been, for a vacation? Or
No, we've been to a lot of places, so I think each has its own special
sure.
memories, right? So we've been to, like early on we had gone to Egypt, so
Yeah.
that was an awesome thing of looking at
Mhm.
all the tombs and all that.
Yeah.
Our next trip that we would like to go to is New Zealand and Australia. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's been on my mind as well for a long time. And I have traveled a lot, but interestingly, I've never been anywhere in the southern hemisphere. I've probably
oh,
covered entire northern hemisphere, everything. Now I'm like, how come we have just not crossed the equator?
oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to force myself to do it within this year or max next year.
It is an extremely different experience because when we were in Tanzania last year, one of the nights we actually pulled out a telescope from where we were staying and we were looking at the night sky. It is so different from the southern hemisphere. It is extremely different.
Yeah, that definitely motivates me. I should definitely do it within this year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think our winter will be their summer, so it's gonna
Yes.
be much better. Yeah.
Yeah.
So apart from that, like what are some of the recommendations that you can give to not from a technical perspective, but maybe like a mindset perspective or just an approach perspective? One of the things you did mention is somebody did not even look at AI thinking it's cruel, but that's a mindset thing, right? Like
Yes.
what are some of the mindset things that somebody should approach their career?
Yeah, I think there's two things that you have to look at. I think one thing, uh, early on, you should decide whether you want to remain technical or do you want to go into the leadership kind of a management slash leadership track.
Mhm,
Um, by leadership, I mean you can be technical, but you can also be a leader, right? So that leadership quality is something that you should definitely focus on, and
mhm,
that is something that I would definitely advise people is as you grow
mhm,
in your experience, your non-technical or the soft skills become even more important. How to convey your ideas to multiple people, how to work across, different departments, different teams, and convince them. So
yeah.
those are the soft skills. Don't forget soft skills, because that is definitely something that I would. Uh, I, I've always been very passionate about building a team up and
Mhm,
growing the team members. So I'm very passionate about making sure that the team members are getting opportunities to develop their soft skills.
mhm,
So giving opportunities, take any opportunities you can to do presentations, because
mhm,
those become critical as you grow in your career, right? So
yeah.
that's one area, one aspect of it. And then secondly, once you decide what you are doing, like the technical part or going into management,
Mhm,
learn as much as you can about that area. If
mhm,
it's technical, make sure you're on the forefront of read everything out there. There's
mhm.
everything happen. It's happening so fast, especially these days. Keep yourself current. I think that is the most
Yeah.
important. Some people get complacent. I don't think that is a good idea.
Yeah, it has to be balanced, right? Like, I think 5 years, between 3 to 5 years of doing something is good enough. And then I think you've received enough and you've contributed back enough. It's time
That's
to do
right.
something more.
Yes, yes,
Yeah, don't
absolutely.
don't don't just jump like every year doing something new, but at the same
Correct.
time, don't just keep doing something for 10 years.
Yes, yes, and I was fortunate at Oracle, even though I was there for 10 years. Such a large company, I was able to switch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had like pretty good relationships with Oracle. When I was in the tech industry, I did that for like close to 15 years, just implementation of Oracle technologies. And it's an amazing organization. The organization itself will take care of ensuring you're progressing well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet. So, apart from that, like how do you help people? Like, what would be one of the recommendations from a financing perspective, or like how should somebody approach their money and savings while they're also focusing on their career? What I see is a lot of people in tech, they end up taking higher risk, they just love higher risk, higher return, right? That's just the nature of our work, right? Like we tend to do something that will have extremely big returns. Uh, do you see a lot of people taking that same approach in their finances, in their savings, in their personal financial life?
Yes, I think that is the concept. What I've noticed here, especially in the US, is people's relationship with money is very different than what we did growing up, right? So people over here, even, no matter how much they make, they kind of live paycheck to paycheck, with not a whole lot of understanding of saving, retirement, and this and that. So I think that is another thing that you should look at from a long term perspective is start saving as early as you can,
Mm-hmm.
especially in your early days. You don't have too many responsibilities, you can actually save a lot. So try doing that. I mean, that's definitely something, and it doesn't have to be like you don't have to start saving $3,000 a month. You can start $50. the
Yeah,
the compounding interest itself will take care of, the power of time is a lot, right? So
yeah, yeah.
as you very well know.
Yeah, like being in real estate and being in money, like this is what I deal with all the time. And
Yeah.
I think Albert Einstein said that, right? The person that understands compounding uses it, and the one that doesn't understand it like abuses it, right? Like
Yeah.
becomes a slave to compounding versus
Yes.
taking the power.
Especially credit card debts. Oh my God. Once you're in it, you're screwed.
Yeah, it's very difficult to get out of that.
Yes, that's right. So
Cool.
what advice would you give to youngsters about finances?
I would say balance out the career and investments. Like if you're taking higher risks on your career, then your finances should be a little more stable and safer, right? Versus if you're in like a more stable job, then let your finances do the extra higher risk when you're earlier in your life. Uh, if you're able to get like $1,000 that grows faster earlier in your life, that will have a very big impact, and it will not push you on a career. Like the work and life I've never actually seen like work and life going together. It's always a balance. They all
Yes,
tend to
absolutely.
pull each other in the opposite way, right?
Yes.
So balance it that way. So if your work is more stable, take a little more higher risk. Maybe it could be doing something extra on the side, pursuing a hobby on the side, maybe generating some extra income from that, or put like it could be stock trading, right?
Mhm.
Don't do it in a negative way. Do it, educate yourself in the right way, but
Yes.
be open to like doing a little more higher risk. But if your career is on the higher risk and higher churn path, then focus on like
Stable. Yes. Sound
make your
advice. Very
financing
sound advice.
more safer.
Yeah. Yeah. Very good advice. Thank you.
Yeah. So what's the best way somebody can reach you?
Reach me, hit me up on LinkedIn.
This is the best way, right? Cool.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'll include those links down below.
Yeah.
And who is an ideal customer like that should be reaching out to you?
Ideal customer, any VC firms, private equity firms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like if somebody's like looking for that's obviously like for SCO-Data's customers, right? But when I use the word customer, I meant like who would be like an ideal or like in your network, who would be an ideal people that should be reaching out to you?
I would say anybody. I'm happy to help out anybody that I can. I strongly believe in service.
Hmm.
So anything I can do to help others, I'm happy to do.
Okay, sounds great. So yeah, everyone feel free to reach out to Shishir. He's a great guy to network with, and I've had a pleasure to have him on the show today. Any final last words of topics that you would like to cover?
No, I think good luck to everyone.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks a lot. Cool. Thanks for coming
Thank
on
you.
a busy Thursday. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
That's a wrap on today's episode of Main Street Minds. Want to share your journey with our audience? Head over to mainstreetmindspodcast.com/guest to apply.